everyone, and welcome to the season finale, the season 2 finale of the 2-Minute Drive podcast. I'm Palace alongside my co-host, Abraham Trevino. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
And Jake Ramirez in the house for the final episode of the season. What's going on?
What's going on, guys? Not much.
First off, I do want to make a sincere apology to this podcast crew and to the audience for not having our Super Bowl show last week. A personal matter came up in the last second, which I had to take care of. Luckily, everything is fine, but I do wanted to make an apology to Jake. I know, Abe, you were dealing with work stuff, but still want to apologize to you guys just because we did have a whole show planned. And again, sorry for the audience for us not pulling through on that. But we're here now for the season finale. A lot to talk about. We're going to discuss everything surrounding what happened in the Super Bowl. Lot of subplots to get into, and then we're going to get into a bunch of stuff that's pertaining to the offseason, but did happen. These announcements did happen like during Super Bowl week and all that stuff. So we'll get into all that, plus an early look at next season. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to this conversation. And let's start with the Super Bowl, folks. Super Bowl 59 from New Orleans. Oh. The Eagles taking on the Chiefs. I believe we never made officially our picks, but let's go around the table real quick, see, before we talk about anything, like who you had for the game. We'll start with you, Jake.
Of course, I had Mahomes and the Chiefs.
And did you have it as a close game, or did you have it as what kind of game did you think it was going to be?
Yeah, I had it where it was going to be. I think I had said in the past high scoring between both. God, was I wrong?
Okay, Abe.
I went for the Eagles. I really didn't expect this game to go like that, the Eagles' way. But I chose the Eagles. I was hoping under it. I kind of felt like it was going to be maybe like a back and forth kind of battle, but totally different.
So the reason I didn't want to watch this game, which I didn't, I was at work. I saw bits and pieces and then started hearing about what was going on. Abe was messaging me during work, so I knew what was going on from that aspect. But for me, I was looking at it as being like a close game, and for some reason, part of me just didn't want to trust that Philadelphia could get the job done. I would have felt more better if it was Washington for some reason, just like some out of nowhere team, rookie QB sensation. Just with how loaded Philadelphia was, I just feel like for some reason, if it was close, it was going to come down to some call and something that was going to go the Chiefs' way, and that would swing it in their favor. So I just wanted nothing to do with this game. So I probably would have picked the Chiefs in a close, deciding ref call that would have put it their way. But holy shit, did we not get that at all? So let's go in depth here, folks. The Kansas City Chiefs were completely embarrassed. Belts to ass, as I saw on Barstool Sports, 40-22. Even that score is misleading because a lot of the Chiefs' points came super in garbage time. This thing was like 40-6 at one point in the fourth quarter. So, Abe, let's start with you. Your initial thoughts. We can deep dive into different things as we progress in this conversation. But what was your first takeaway after seeing how this played out?
So looking at the beginning of the game, I watched this whole game. So it looked like it was defense. I know Jake texted me saying this looks like a battle of the defenses. It was good. There was a couple of 3-and-outs. And then something happened to where the Eagles just shifted gears pretty quick, changed it, and they just started, making plays. I was looking at the defense, and it looked a lot of the Bucs and the Chiefs Super Bowl, where the Bucs defense.
You did message me that.
Yeah, where the Bucs, remember when the Bucs rattled Mahomes? Well, fast forward to this Super Bowl, and it looks and the same thing with Jason Bond and the corners stepping up. They had Mahomes rattled. Like there was, I can't remember the guy Hopkins. He couldn't catch anything, and he was talking shit before the game, but he couldn't catch anything. Hollywood Brown was just shut down. Kelsey was shut down. You just saw his stupid little gay haircut, the sideline, and they never showed Taylor Swift until that one time where they were booing her, and I was like, yes, finally. But this game was defense, Robert. It was, it's. I don't know if the Eagles looked at that Bucks game, that Bucks Super Bowl, before or during the week, and just figured ways how to rattle. And this was what we were looking for either Texans to do or for Baltimore or Buffalo to do, and they couldn't.
Yeah.
But the Eagles did, and they figured it out.
Well, I want to compare this a little. You keep mentioning the Bucks, which I mean, I'm all for any Buccaneers talk, but I want to compare this Eagles defense more to what the New York Giants did to the Patriots in 2007 during the undefeated season, where they rushed for. They never once blitzed Mahomes. The line sucked where they were just able to collapse the pocket and get him. Whereas with the Buccaneers, it was a lot of, typical Todd Bowles blitzing, like rushing after him. Like they were like just hyper fast against Mahomes. But this one was like, they weren't even blitzing him and they were getting to him. And Mahomes' street ball antics were just not working at all. Or were not going to work at all in this game. I'm surprised more at how bad Mahomes and Andy Reid weren't able to adjust to this, because it looked like they were just running the same play like every single time. Yeah. I'm copying this from
real quick, guys. I'm going to get in on that too. Robert, you bring up a good point with Andy Reid. And I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, what? Did they just run the same play the whole fucking game? I don't understand. They had Kareem Hunt for 9 yards, Pacheco for 7 yards. The running game was fucking irrelevant. I don't understand it. It almost makes you as if I don't know. Was it that bad or was it? I'm not gonna say rigged because I don't believe in the shit being rigged. But I mean, hey, can y'all just not fucking run and then just take licks at quarterback and throw a few yards and just get wiped? I don't understand. It was just bad.
I know you're not gonna like this answer, Jake, but it took until the Super Bowl to happen. And luckily for us, that helps me in Abe's case, because we have been saying all season long that this team is just not as good as it appears to be. And now you can go back to all those other games where they won super close, where, yes, they won. Their record shows 16-2 or whatever the fuck it is that they were.
They finished 17-3. Yeah.
But if you look at those games, they should have lost a chunk of those games. This team was not as good as it appeared because they had no second gear to them. Their playmakers couldn't separate. They had no run game, as you mentioned. Travis Kelce has looked completely washed. He's already looked washed throughout the season, but he had that one good game against Houston. But this is exactly what I had been predicting was going to happen at some point to this team. Didn't I not keep saying it? Hey, they're going to get exposed.
No, I agree with you on some points, yeah, but I'm not going to go that whole narrative route like everybody said all season. All the refs helped, yeah, maybe in some instances.
Okay, but I'm saying exclude that. The way they were playing these close games, this was a team with the best record, but with the worst point differential in the history of the league. That should have been a red flag.
Yeah, but even in those other games, they had rushing yards, and this is just atrocious. 9 yards, 3 carries, Kareem Hunt, Pacheco, 3 carries, 7 yards.
Right. But they were never reliant on the run game, Jake. They never really had a run game. And Abe, I don't know if you can help out. Abe, I don't know if you can help out, but weren't we preaching this basically throughout the whole season?
I'll say one thing before Abe takes over. As far as I think they mentally, I forgot who was talking about it. They were
they got arrogant.
Yeah, no, I was going to get Taylor Swift and Kelsey and Mahomes and Brittany. They went on a dinner date. Somebody was they shouldn't have went on that dinner date 2 nights before.
What? Nah, that's bullshit.
Somebody said some shit like that, and they were they felt too arrogant.
What? Because they had dinner? That's no.
That doesn't mean shit, man.
Somebody was saying that, one of the analysts or something. I was like, I don't know.
But they gotta have dinner. They gotta eat.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. But
what is it? Was she hanging out?
I don't know what they were trying to prove at that point.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
But what are you saying? They went out clubbing? I doubt they went out clubbing or anything like that. Get out of here.
Well, not that.
If that was the case, you have a point, but get out of here with that.
I'm not making this point. This is some analyst or some bullshit I saw.
What are you watching? Because God bless, you need to watch better shows. Because
it was either Fox. It was something on Fox or ESPN. I know it was one of those.
Oh, Lord,
but I was
that's a terrible take. Whoever said that.
Yeah, they got to go eat. But the main thing is they came ill prepared. I'm going to say they were mentally and just ill prepared, Robert. It's not just so much they did shitty. I'm not going to fucking say that because they finished 17-2 before this game.
But
So
they
it's
did
not
shitty
just
in this game. You can completely say that.
They were just
okay, but like I just said, they came ill prepared. Andy Reid, all them.
Because
Something
they
was
got
off,
too
man.
arrogant. We'll get into that right now, but the whole three-peat stuff. But
Go ahead. Abe.
let Abe answer my question about, did we not preach this throughout the season? Like, they were just suspect the entire way. Like, and forget the refs part of it. Just the way, like, they barely could put up points. They didn't really have a run game. Their receivers were like whatever, but they just found ways. And again, if you want to talk about the rev stuff, whatever. But did we not preach this, Abe, all season?
We did, and I think it's more the defense that kind of bailed them out at times.
Yeah.
Because you looking at Mahomes all season long, Robert, he did not look like Mahomes from last year or the year before. Like he just, I don't know, like he just couldn't get the ball off. His throws weren't really that accurate. Kind of looked lopsided sometimes when he was throwing it.
Right.
I don't like
he's starting to look washed.
And he just got rattled at times. But, you know, looking at the regular season, it was the defense that helped him out, that bailed him out sometimes. Or it was the other teams being a doof and they did a fuck up on their end where it kind of costed them the game. But other than that, yeah, to be honest, the Chiefs shouldn't have been there where they're at.
Like, the only thing I'm shocked is how lopsided it was.
Yeah.
Like, I figured if they got exposed, it would have been like 24-13 or something like that. But freaking in the fourth quarter, I forgot how many minutes to go, maybe 6 minutes, like 40-6. Like, and you're talking about a guy, a quarterback who people are already saying is the greatest to ever do it and the best like ever. And it's like, this is the performance you're putting up. Like,
but definitely not now. Definitely not now.
This is why I told you, Robert, and the reason why I'm going back, I'm referencing the Bucks and the Chiefs one is because if you remember on the Bucks and the Chiefs one, the defense, Mahomes never got on his side of the 50. Never. I think it was like one or two times. That was the same thing here up until the fourth quarter where it was garbage time, where Patrick Mahomes, I don't know if you saw the play or whatever, but where he threw that bomb, and I think
it was against backups.
Worthy and it was against backups, and then Worthy fucking pounds his chest like Jake would, and then I'm saying fuck yeah, and I'm like stupid ass, like there's 2 minutes left, you know.
Yeah, there's not enough time.
Abe, I was actually, when they did get those garbage points, I was waiting for Jake to say like, look at the score, it wasn't that bad, but this is where I tell Jake all the time, sometimes the score is never reflective of what the actual game is.
It was
like
bad.
This game was over this game was over like in the first quarter.
So it was, and Robert, it was so bad that this motherfucker shut the fuck up at like 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
No, I fell asleep. That's
his story, right? That he fell asleep.
I did.
I bet you he sat there in his chair or whatever it was, his little gaming chair, and he sat there.
I said,
no.
Pacing.
Hands between legs, like not knowing what to say.
That's the protection area.
Praying to God that Robert's not messaging me right now. I'll block him if I have to.
No, you know why? Because I know you didn't care because you were working all day and you weren't going to watch the game. But then all of a sudden you start paying attention at work.
Fuck that. You'll say, well, that's not my team.
Robert started spending time at the bar, Abe.
No, I was paying attention because Abe was messaging me what was going on.
No, Jake, because you'll say,
was like, oh, I just saw that. Look at that interception. Yeah, how'd you see it, Robert? On
that's not really. Hey, look, real quick. Now that we're done with that fucking talk of the GOAT or whatever the fuck, I'm gonna read something, but I'm gonna share it with you guys.
But we do have to talk about that though.
Yeah. Hold on, but I want to share this with you guys, and I'm gonna just brief on it, so that way you can look at what I just sent it to you guys. So that way y'all can look at what I'm going to be saying. And it goes to show where it's got like Brady versus Mahomes. You see Brady with 10 Super Bowls, Mahomes 5. You know, you can see the dropbacks, the passing yards. Look at the passing yards, 3,039 versus the 1,328. That just shows that Mahomes isn't really Mahomes. You know,
the one that's incredible is that touchdown interception ratio.
Yeah, you see that right there. That from that point, like it's just like, you know, it just tells you the sacks. I mean, Brady took like 3 more sacks, but who gives a shit? So I mean, look at the Super Bowl titles, and then Jake will just say, "Oh well, Mahomes is still Mahomes." No, fuck that. Like the numbers are right there. The numbers don't lie.
No,
here's
said.
where I'll give Jake some runway. had Mahomes and this team won, I wouldn't let you get away totally with saying he's like the greatest or GOAT, but I wouldn't argue against you if you made a case for it. Now that this is over, like no one
The
should be
Chiefs
talking
dynasty is
about,
over.
but no one should be talking about Patrick Mahomes being the GOAT for like a very long time, if at that, like if he ever gets back to a
No,
Super
it's
Bowl or win. But that needs to stop like right away
yeah,
because forget it. Even if for some reason, let's say Mahomes gets to whatever 5 or 6, he's always going to have these 2 Super Bowl blowouts on his resume. No one's going to ever let him live that down. Like Brady was on Colin Cowherd's show on Friday, and he said, he's like, I still get shit for all the Super Bowls I've lost more than I've won. So believe me, not only Philly fans, but everyone's going to remember, like, hey, dude, you were totally outclassed in the Super Bowl, like not once, but twice. So it's kind of hard to ever say like that this guy is the greatest quarterback to have ever played the game when you have that on your resume. And I know Chiefs fans are easy to say, well, Brady lost Super Bowls too. And I was like, yeah, but those were always competitive. He was never
yeah.
left embarrassed. And like everybody said, the one Super Bowl where he was going to get rocked, he came back and won it. So
Yeah, this was just atrocious, an embarrassment to Kansas City Chiefs fans. Everything I point to Facebook, Robert's like, you don't need to. It's not an embarrassment. You don't need to tell him, you feel sorry for him. No, I do because it was just straight up trash. Like for any fans that went to that game that were Chiefs fans that paid $2,400 for a fucking ticket and got
Jake,
that's
Jake,
atrocious.
they were trying to trademark three-peat. They were arrogant. They thought they already have this game won. This team
I'm
got
not going to
exactly what it
disagree.
deserved.
I'm not going to disagree. Yeah, it was just atrocious, man. Like I said, the dynasty's over, but we're going to preview the 2026 season a little bit. And yeah, dynasty's over for the Chiefs, man. And I'm going to say right here, the Bills, I think it's time, man. I think Allen will fucking
Hang
make
on.
it.
Before we get to any of that, we're not moving away from the Super Bowl. Forget the Chiefs part of it now. Let's give the flowers to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts.
Oh, yeah.
So it backfired on the Chiefs. So the defense did their part, right? Their game plan was to stop Saquon Barkley and have Jalen Hurts beat them through the air and with his legs. And boy, did that backfire on the Chiefs defense like horribly because Jalen Hurts completed 2 great touchdown, or I think 3 touchdown passes, made a couple of big first down runs with his legs. Abe, how are you feeling about Jalen Hurts today in terms of like where you rank him among like the top quarterbacks?
He's definitely top 5. Looking at him during the regular season, he had his struggles, but look in the Super Bowl, watching him play, like man, he looked really good. His throws were good. I liked his bombs that he had to Devontae Smith, and then of course AJ Brown, him making plays as well. Like they looked really good. And yeah, they did take Saquon out of the equation, but you still
Yeah.
got Jalen Hurts, who's a mobile quarterback and can still hurt you with it. And he had like I think 75 yards
72
rushing.
yards.
Yeah,
72
72 or
yards.
75. Yeah, so. He can hurt you with his legs, and also he can if he's not throwing it. So, I liked his play, and I'm glad he got MVP.
Mine,
Yeah, he deserves
I'm
it.
sorry, I'm gonna have to bring in the Cowboys into this conversation, but can we say that this version of the Eagles? I don't know what the defense was like when Dak entered the league and they had that awesome offensive line and Zeke, and they were just like a really good juggernaut offense. Isn't this
It
the
was
best
good.
case scenario of what the Cowboys could have been?
Yeah,
Being like what Jalen Hurts did with this team. Like Jalen Hurts, not the best. Like he's mobile, so was Dak at one point, and
right.
not necessarily having to throw as much, but you have like a reliant, like really good back behind you to really control the line of scrimmage and control the time of possession. Like, isn't this what what could have happened with the Cowboys
For
early
sure.
on when Dak got inserted as the quarterback?
I'll let Abe handle that, but I'll just say that I mean, as far as Dak being mobile, present day, that's what sucks is that
We're
he
not
doesn't
talking.
have the
I'm not.
mobility.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when he entered the
I know,
league.
but I'm just saying yes because they're trying to compare it to back then. Yeah, Dak back, yeah, during that time, bro. Yeah,
I'm
it would
just
have been
saying,
fucking
like the Eagles were able to do it. Why couldn't the Cowboys? I'm just saying, like that's the recipe right there for an offense is to have a
because we
quarterback.
met teams in the NFC that were better at that time, man. That got us.
So did the Eagles, and they took them down.
Babe.
It goes to show you though, because Kellen Moore was the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, and they just couldn't do shit.
Uh,
And then you look at now where he's the offensive coordinator in the Eagles 1 year, and look at what they did. And I want to say it wasn't Kellen Moore, even though I thought it was back in Dallas. And I just think it's just the players all around. It's just the head coach, the discipline. I mean, I know Robert doesn't like Sirianni, but I mean,
Hey
he
man, he
still,
gained my respect after this. I can't not give him
yeah.
his
he's still
props.
an asshole, but yeah.
No, but you know what? I mean, look at where he got his team. How come, McCarthy got the Cowboys? You keep fucking pounding your chest saying, "Oh, back to back to back, 12-5s," but nothing to show for it. But I
Yeah,
mean, at the same time, during those 12-5s, Kellen Moore was a part of that one. Dan Quinn was
Yeah.
a part of that, and for some reason, they got bounced on the
Well, Dan
first
Quinn
round.
and the defense fucked
But
that up
no, 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 no. But
last year. So.
we're not talking about the defense. We're talking about the offense of how Jalen Hurts adapted to that. And look at now. And the Cowboys had the same amount of star talent like the Eagles had. You had CD, and you had yourself, I believe, Amari Cooper, if I'm not wrong, if I'm mistaken. And then you had
Yeah.
a good decent Zeke around that time. And then you had Dak Prescott, and you had a great offensive line, because there was that 1 year, a couple of years, where the offensive line was great, but they couldn't convert. They couldn't get over that hump. So it kind of makes you wonder. It's not Kellen Moore. It's the other upper personnel.
yeah. Last thing I want to point out back to the Chiefs here in the whole GOAT conversation. Um, where was the leadership on Sunday from the Chiefs when they were down like 17-0, 24-0? Like every time they would pan to the Chiefs sideline, like players were crying.
Yeah.
It was,
Um,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Mahomes with his like droopy lip and
Yeah.
wasn't firing anybody up. Like what? Like, and again, people like
It's
to
like they
compare to
gave
Tom
in.
Brady, but like where was that? You want to say that this guy's the GOAT? Like what are we talking about here? Like it's silly to have this conversation. And again, goes to show that Tom was just psychotic and on a different level when it came to guys
Workmanship.
on this
Yeah,
big of a
sure.
stage.
Yeah, Brady was, and that's I'll give Brady his credit.
So can we
You know,
stop?
he always did it.
I want to make a declaration on this pod from you. Are you going to stop with this whole like current GOAT nonsense?
Well, of course. Now I mean, he fucked up the three-peat. They got fucking smashed. There's nothing to debate there with Mahomes. Like they're done. The Chiefs. There's no more dynasty. It's over.
And I'm not
The
taking
Bills are
again. I'm
taking
not taking
over
away from Mahomes. I think he's a really good quarterback,
for sure.
but stop with the comparing to Brady or surpassing Brady because no.
No, there's gonna be a new head honcho quarterback, and we'll find out who it is next year. But
Or it may never be. It may never happen. We need to let things breathe.
no, but I'm saying as far as the quarterback dominating, there's gonna be some kind of
Dude,
and maybe it's Jared
this
Allen
league
or Josh Allen, whatever.
this league is set up perfectly for like the next 20 years with the quarterbacks that we got now in position. And, we'll see what happens next year with the other rookies coming in. But this league is in a good state right now. We're always looking for like the next star. And, Mahomes had his
Yeah,
moment. Not saying like they can
exactly.
never not get back there, but I think
Yeah,
this current run where they had this mystique about them, like it's over now. The
yeah,
mystique, I mean,
100%. And I agree with
mystique
you.
of it.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
over. We don't even know if
Y'all have
Kelsey's gonna retire. That's
what's
up in
that?
the air. That Kelsey might retire. That's up in the air.
That's the other one. I don't want to hear about Kelsey being the greatest tight end ever. I
No,
I
that's wrong.
I
That's wrong.
posted this on my Instagram. I don't know if you guys saw it, where there was that one play of Mahomes running around looking for something, and Kelsey's just standing there, like not even doing anything, like
Yeah,
not
I
blocking,
saw it.
not looking to like, hey, throw me the ball over here, I'll make a play. Like he was just standing there. Like, could you imagine Gronkowski just standing there, Tom Brady trying to make a play? Like, stop it with Kelsey being the greatest tight end ever either. I don't want to hear it. Like, not on the same level.
Uh, at one point it was, but
Not after that performance.
not now. Yeah, for sure. I don't
Um,
even know who's the best tight end right now, to be honest.
Anything else on the games? I mean, again, credit to Sirianni. He won me
Credit to
over.
the Eagles.
Credit to the Eagles. I mean, that defense. I do kind of want to get into. I guess.
Two picks.
Actually, do y'all have anything else to say about this game?
Well, let me ask Abe. Were the two picks, were they both for pick six touchdowns, Abe, or just one?
Just one.
No, one was Cooper DeJean had the touchdown.
I'll
Yeah,
give Mahomes kind of a pass on that first one, which was the pick six, was because he was scrambling to the right and threw back to the center. That's always like a bad idea to do as a quarterback because you're like leaving yourself for stuff like that to happen. But that second pick where they threw like inside the 10 or 15, like what the hell? Who was he throwing at? Like there was nobody inside, and like that was straight to a Philadelphia defender. Like we can't, we have to put a lot of it on Mahomes as well for the hole that they put themselves in. I
yeah,
know everyone in the media is like, oh, well, his offensive line was, super bad, but like he was making very bad decisions from the like he looked like we've said this about Sam Darnold and they've poked fun at him at this in the past about seeing ghosts because like I said the Eagles defense never blitzed Mahomes.
Yeah, they never
It was
did.
all just a 4-man rush that got to him. So like
yeah. Well,
that's
they just kept
incredible in
breaking through that
itself.
O line.
What's that?
Yeah, they kept breaking through that O line, and there's that video, the one that I sent you, Robert, where he got smacked up, and
Yeah.
they were
But
just
like I
breaking through
said,
that O line.
that's all without a blitz. So that's incredible for that Eagles defense. Do you think Jalen earned the Super Bowl MVP? First, I thought I was going to go to somebody on the
Yeah,
defense, but
yeah.
Jalen Hurts did.
I think he did. I think he did.
Yeah.
He deserved it.
Okay. All right. I guess that answered my question there. Anything else? Anything else that we got to cover on the game?
I'll just say this. To me, I think it was one of the most miserable Super Bowls that I've ever watched. That's why I fucking fell asleep, folks, about halfway, and I woke up for the
It
fourth.
was one of the
And
greatest
I
games
saw
I've
that, and
never watched.
It was.
it was
You,
just
look. Let me also put something. I know this
just
is not a
bad.
big deal, but the halftime show. Can we get like the Rolling Stones or
Oh my
something?
gosh.
Because
Yes,
look,
something.
I
Yes,
understand. I understand. Like, look, Kent. Look,
yes.
let me go on this little rant real quick. Let me have it. Let me
Go
just
for
have it.
it.
It's season finale, but um, Kendrick Lamar, he's a poet. Like he's a poet kind of guy. I like his stuff. I like
Yeah.
his meaning and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. But he's not a headliner. He's more of like, if you remember the Super Bowl back in 22 when Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg came out and then he came out, that's
Mhm.
kind of like what he is. He's an assist kind of guy. The whole thing about like Kendrick and Drake dissing and this and that, like I'm kind of over that too, like kind of like Taylor
Stupid.
Swift. Like it is what it
Yeah.
is. But, can somebody else take over, like bringing on whoever can do the music? Like give me like The Weeknd or give me like
The
NSYNC or
weekend was a couple
something.
years ago. That was a
Yeah,
good
or
one.
give me
That was
like
That was during
fucking awesome.
COVID, though.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys or get me like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was watching it and I was like, okay, and then I was like, man, you know what? This is more of like him trying to just take a hit at Drake again, and I'm like, I'm so over that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's stupid.
About the. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too. Abe hits all those points, like the whole Kendrick and Drake, stupid fucking thing. It's dumb. You know,
The only thing
sure,
I don't
like a lot
like
of
is
people enjoyed it.
the only thing I don't like about it is that whole audience that tells you like, oh well, you're too old, you don't understand, it's not for you, and it's like
Yeah,
it's not even about that.
Yeah.
It's about the Super Bowl is one of the most global events, and you wanna cater to the masses, not to a niche. What Kendrick Lamar was doing was to a niche. Like
Yeah.
he's a rap artist, right? So the people that like super or into rap absolutely loved this and loved the performance. But you want to like get out there and like be more inclusive of everybody. Doing that is not including everybody, and that's what they're trying to preach in the NFL, right? Inclusion and no hate
they
and all that.
missed
But
the opportunity with Taylor Swift, like, and the only
oh yeah,
reason
no,
that I think,
definitely.
you know,
And hopefully
that she didn't get it.
I think when Nashville gets their new stadium or Tennessee gets their new stadium, I think if they do that one, they should do like a country themed, get all the new artists. You can even get Post Malone in there.
And
Post
that's
Malone.
fine, you know.
Like do
Just
something
don't
like
break
that that's going to
nothing,
appeal
man.
more to the masses.
Country music's not my shit, but I mean, when it comes to,
Look,
appealing to a certain crowd or where it's at or whatever, go for it. I don't give a fuck.
as
Will I
long
watch it?
as
Yeah.
it's not Beyonce on the country, I'm okay, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh
really
yeah,
big
yeah,
on country, but also, you know what? Why didn't they get Little Wayne, man? I wouldn't mind
yeah.
showing
Somebody
him.
was saying
And
that.
he's a New Orleans native. Like you figured you would have
Yeah.
gotten him out
Yeah.
there, but I
I
mean,
didn't even think of, yeah.
it
You
is
could
what
have
it is.
even done. You could have even done. I guess if you want to keep the rap theme, like do Eminem. He's more mainstream, like as a solo act. Like
Could have been
he's
Yeah.
had
him
a
as a
lot of
solo, yeah.
worldwide like number one hits.
He had a new album. He had a
Mainstream.
new album
Yeah.
this year.
Right, but his music hasn't really been the same as it was like in the early 2000s where it was like everywhere on
I haven't
radio.
listened to it.
Right.
But you could have done something like that. Like I
Well,
know
it's 'cause,
I know
Robert,
of Kendrick Lamar, but I don't really know his music.
It's because Jay-Z is in charge of the Super Bowl
Oh,
music
I know.
picks,
I've
right?
told you all this. That's the reason
Yeah.
why we're getting more of these artists, like more niche rap, as opposed to
Yeah.
like catering to a whole audience. Like even,
What year, Robert?
oh, I don't know about that.
2027, I think I saw the contracts. Something
Ooh.
like that.
Damn. They should void
Yeah.
that
The
already.
next couple years, I think we got left.
They
Ooh.
should void that already, man. Yeah, I don't know if y'all guys remember back when Michael Jackson did the Super Bowl. Man, it was packed, and then,
I just watched that
um,
today, actually.
yeah, them and him, and then you got even the Janet Jackson and the Justin Timberlake wasn't that bad either.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I think they had
yeah.
the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Robert.
They
I
did
think,
some mesh where it was like a bunch of
yeah,
bands. Like you could even do something like that. Like do like
yeah,
I don't know if Metallica would work just because
right.
they're a little harder, but there's some songs in there that you could probably do to like a wider audience. But yeah, like all of Kendrick's stuff, it was all based on beef and
Yeah,
insider stuff. Like I didn't get it. And again, if you want to tell me like, oh, well, it's not for you, with like, well, it should be for me. It should be for all of us. It should be
it's a
for everybody.
yeah, and like I said, I mean, and I get what he's saying because he's a poet, like he's a
Yeah.
poet guy, so I get it. But like somebody commented on my aunt's post, and he said like, well, it's because if you're black, and look, you know what, man, it's not
Hey
about
guys, I'll
that.
be
It's not about
BRB.
that shit
Be
anymore.
right
It's not
back.
about like black life. Like yes, black life, all lives matter,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be. Everybody's opposed to their own opinion, and she just was saying what was on her mind, and that's her opinion. She didn't bash it or nothing. She just said it was boring. It could have been more exciting, in which she's right. It could have been. I think the best part about it, as my friend Chris said, that Sam, what's his name,
Sam Jackson.
Sam Jackson was the best part of that. If anything, that was more
Mm.
exciting than Kendrick. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. But he did good. I mean, I saw that it was most viewed or whatever from out of all the Super Bowls. But still, it was more of him just kind of like beefing it with Drake. And I think, if I'm correct, he forfeited his 15 million that he got for that because he played that one song that they told him he couldn't play. So
Oh.
I mean, if he did that, I mean, then hey, kudos to him. But still, at the same time, like, give something where everybody can just be like talking about.
Yeah. I agree there. Anything else on the game?
I'm good on that.
All right, so I want to talk about the Eagles post the Super Bowl. Yeah, I know Jake stepped off for a second. We'll have him back in a bit. But I want to talk to you, Abe. Like I was mentioning off air to Jake that the Cowboys, like, oh boy, are they in trouble?
Right.
Because this Eagles defense, not only were they ferocious and good in this Super Bowl, but they're all young and they're
Yeah.
all on rookie contracts. And that offense is going to stay intact pretty much in on the Philly side of things. With you got AJ locked up, Jalen locked up, Saquon. I think even Devontae Smith. I think you still have him for like a year or two.
Right.
So this team's not going anywhere. And I know Jake was saying a lot of, and I'll let him speak for himself in a little bit, but I know he was saying like, oh, well, Philly, they're not going to be back or anything like that. No, dude, they're going to be in contention for a while. And you look at the emergence of Jaden Daniels with Washington, and they have the third most cap space room, so they're going to go out and spend money because they want to
Right.
compete, right? Because they're all in right now. So I'm just saying, like for next season, like the Cowboys, it just does not look good for them in the division at all, or even making the playoffs, to be honest. And I know Jake's excited about these coaching hires that just happened, but you got a lot more problems than that because you have a delusional owner who, I don't know if you saw this, Abe. There was a snippet of him, like I think it was like the NFL honors red carpet where he was like, well, that's why I signed Dak Prescott. It's shocking to me that we're not here in the Super Bowl right now. Like, that's why I paid him.
Right.
It's like, dude, like how out
Hey.
of touch can you be?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts? Your thoughts on Philly going into this next season and that defense and offense coming back? Washington emerging. Like, how are you feeling about the Cowboys next season?
So, a couple of key free agents for the Eagles is Zach Bond, Josh Sweat, and Brandon Graham, who all contributed to that Super Bowl run, right, against the Chiefs. So I'm pretty sure they're going to lock them up. They're going to sign them all.
Oh yeah, because that GM's incredible. Howie
Yeah. Oh
Roseman.
yeah. Really good. And they've got money. They've got
Yeah.
some money, so they're going to lock this up. Um, the Eagles, I think they're going to contend again next year. You can't tell me they're not.
Yeah.
Washington's
100%.
only going to get better. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm hearing that, and it's a receiver, and I'm not sure if it's Amon-Ra or if it's T.
Debo?
Higgins that's linked to going to the Commanders.
What about
Uh,
Debo? Debo's out there too.
oh yeah, but I'm hearing Debo. I'm hearing Debo, New England for some reason. I'm hearing him getting linked
Oh
there,
God,
but
I would rather want Higgins. I mean, looking at the
yeah,
top three cap space for the teams, it's New England at 120. I think the Raiders at 90 some,
right.
and then the Commanders at 70 some.
Well,
So those are the guys that are going to spend.
here's another thing, and we can talk about this in a little bit. Micah Parsons is linked to going to New England, so that's just something to think about. But
Oh no.
yeah. But I mean, Washington's going to get better. I mean, Jaden Daniels is only going to get better. Robert, you know this.
Yeah.
Real quick, Abe, what's the percentage of us losing Micah? Like, is that just bullshit?
It's a slim. There's 3 teams that are involved. It's New England's at the top of the list. It's New England. It's I think it's the Raiders. And I believe the Titans are one of them or whatever. And see, this is what I'm talking about when I told Robert, when I sent the message and they're saying that the Titans are willing to trade one. So Robert said plenty of times that you've got to give Micah and you've got to give a shitload of capital, which would your number 1 draft pick. So I mean that could play. That could be a factor. But anyway, the Giants, Robert, I'm also hearing Stafford. So if Stafford if the Giants get Stafford and with neighbors, oh man, you can't tell
Imagine
me.
they get Cooper Kupp too.
And if they get Cooper Kupp because he's available, and then who's to say? What if they don't get T. Higgins? I mean, they could be the dark horse. Who knows?
Right. So Jake, that's what we were talking about. We were talking about the Eagles and them coming off the Super Bowl. What is it looking like for next season? And I said how off air I was telling you the Cowboys are in trouble, and I'm pointing to the Eagles and the Commanders. The Commanders have a lot of cap room, and they're gonna go fucking spend to either load up on the defense. They can go get like a Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
You know? He's going to be out there. We got to talk about that as possible for suitors because he's going to want to go to a contender. I'm just saying Dallas, you can say like, oh, because Dak wasn't there. Like that didn't mean anything and he'll be back and it'll be good. But you guys don't have a running back. Your only big weapon is CeeDee Lamb. Your defense is falling apart and you need to trade away somebody to get more capital.
Well,
and your offensive line was bad.
Yeah, the O-line got worse. But, Abe, how the Diggs deal? Newsflash, Robert, the Diggs deal might happen too, right, Abe?
Yeah, but I mean, Stephon Diggs isn't really the Stephon Diggs of Minnesota, though. So
that's a headache I don't want.
But I mean, you're going to lose Cook, and that's fine. But you really need to go out there and I mean, if you can get, I don't mind getting Diggs, but we also need help defensive wise because Diggs is out again. He probably won't play till like mid-year.
But also, but with Diggs, also, if he got frustrated with Josh Allen and was even being kind of, I don't know if he was a diva on Houston, he just got injured, but like CJ Stroud, now to Dak, like, you don't think he's going to have issues if he can't get him the ball?
Hell yeah, definitely. And the Cowboys,
we'll see how healthy Dak is.
Cowboys, like people are. I mean, I've seen on TikTok and social media where they're pounding their chest on getting this Ashton Genty, and yes, he's really good running back, but the running back really isn't our main problem. We need another receiver, we need O-line help, we need defensive help, and we do need a running back because I really think they should let Rico walk because I know Jake is really fond of him. I don't know why.
No, I know.
But they need to let him walk. They need to just revamp on the running back committee room, and yeah, Genty would be a good start. But you also got to go in the draft and maybe get you somebody else in the 4th round. There's a kid from Virginia Tech, I believe that's linked to the Cowboys that's supposed to go there. So I mean, I got to get his name. But if the Cowboys draft right. And they get the players, like they got to go offense first, and then you can do the defense later on in the drafts, and then you can also do it in the offseason. But Jerry doesn't want to spend money. If I was Jerry, I'd go and get Myles Garrett, to have him go.
Well, he ain't gonna go there because he wants to go to contender.
Yeah, you're right. He's not. But if
not
I'm Jerry, I would, because hey, what if you have Mike on one side and you have Myles Garrett on the other side? I mean, shit. But still. It's all about the pieces, and we all know, Robert, that Jerry's not going to do this shit. He's not going to spend money. He didn't even want to go get what's his name?
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry, and they spoke to Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry, Jerry Jones blocked his number. Like he couldn't even get a hold of Jerry Jones because he was trying to tell him, "Hey, come on, get me." And like goes
Real
to show
quick,
you,
Gabe,
like,
will we have to drop a lot for Diggs or no?
I don't even think I mean, I know we have some money, but you still got to lock up Micah. You still got to figure out what you're gonna do with Jordan Lewis. You got you. I mean, Dak's taking up most of your shit.
I'm just wondering what Jake thinks. Other than your fandom, what is the optimism for the Cowboys, considering what they're facing in their own division? Forget the rest of the league and forget, trying to win a Super Bowl. Just win your own division.
Yeah.
What you're going up against with Philadelphia and Washington with the cap space, which they're going to spend money. They're going to get like another star weapon and possibly maybe Myles Garrett. Tell me, what is the optimism for the Cowboys that you see in your eyes?
For Medina and Brandon and Eli, the only thing I see, I mean, as far as, the whole restructuring of all these new coaches coming into play, I'm interested, to see how that's going to turn out with all these coaches. Maybe it's actually going to be good for the Cowboys.
But what is Brian Schottenheimer's experience other than he's the son of a legendary coach? Did he do play calling in Dallas?
No.
How many years has he been with Dallas? That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, but if you're not calling plays, you don't have the experience.
He's been with them since 22, doof.
Yeah, I mean, I would have had Pete Carroll, to be honest. If I wish we could have got Pete
I know,
Carroll.
but I'm saying, where is your optimism? Because I know you were scoffing at the Eagles coming back and being contenders. I know I saw you make a post about that. I'm like, dude.
Well, I mean, not everybody always after they have a Super Bowl. What do they call it? Slump or whatever.
That's for the opposing team, not the champions.
Well, we'll see if they can make it back. I know they're going to probably.
I'm not saying make it back, but they're going to be either 1 or 2 in that division next year with Washington. Tell me how you think Dallas is. Tell me how you think Dallas is going to overlap and into the one spot, considering what they have.
Like I said, optimistic about the coaching, but then we'll go on to the players. We'll see what happens with the running back issue. We'll see, Abe, what happens with that.
Yeah, but without any moves, you are already like, next season, like we're going to be back. Like, how do you know that?
See, that's what I was trying to differentiate. I was not like that. I'm saying that with all these moves potentially happening. Now, if it goes to where none of these things happen, we got the 8-9 season, and I understand that.
8-9, wow.
Yeah,
I don't because
we can still do 8-9.
You think you're going to win half your games? Get out of here.
Yeah, if Dak's healthy. We're not.
You got to play the Eagles twice. You got to play the Commanders twice. That's 4 losses right there already.
Again, if the potentials of all this going right for us, if all these we draft well or we get Diggs or something really good happens to the Cowboys.
So you think if you get Diggs, all of a sudden that fixes everything?
No, but that helps get some more wins. I mean, for sure.
Diggs is worth a win.
Deion Sanders was a drama.
He wasn't worth a win in Buffalo. He wasn't worth a win in Houston. What makes you think he's just all of a sudden going to be worth a win in Dallas with a subpar quarterback? CJ and Josh Allen are better quarterbacks than Dak.
Yeah.
So tell me how that translates to more wins.
I don't agree with that.
Kirk Cousins was a better quarterback than Dak.
You say you don't agree with that, but why? Where am I wrong on that?
Because when Dak's healthy, he's not a scrub.
Okay, I'm not saying that, but is Dak Prescott better than Josh Allen? Straight up.
When he's not hurt or any injuries, yes.
Oh my God!
My personal opinion.
Oh my God! You did not just say that.
Marcos agrees with me. Marcos agrees with me too. We talked about this off air. So
I'm going to ask Marcos. I think you're lying for him.
And that's why Marcos isn't on the show.
Because I think he's lying. I think he's lying for Marcos. I'm going to ask him straight up.
Yeah,
folks, I'll send text afterwards to Robert where he even said Jalen Hurts only did really good because the defense fucking came through, and he is a good quarterback.
And you could say the same thing for Dak when the Cowboys defense annihilated Brady in the playoffs.
I mean, you wanted to switch it up to where you were saying earlier, like making a comparison. Oh well, if Dak had that defense that good, if he would have been in Jalen's Super Bowl shoes right now.
Yeah, because that was when Zeke was elite. The Cowboys had that incredible offensive line, and Dak didn't have to do much. I'm not saying Jalen didn't do anything, But I'm just saying you had that recipe right there to get to a Super Bowl.
I'll say this for the folks, our fans. Is Dak top 5 right now for this coming season? No, I'll admit it. First here, folks. No.
But you just said Dak is better than fucking Josh Allen, the
When he's
reigning
healthy.
NFL MVP.
When he's healthy. But I'm going to say right now, top 5 now.
Tell me how Dak is better than Josh Allen. Please explain to me how he's better than him. I would love to hear this.
Again, we don't want to talk what ifs because you always tell me that, or what ifs. You don't want to talk what ifs. But
go ahead, give a what if. Tell me how Dak is better than Josh Allen. I'm really curious.
If Dak stays healthy and doesn't get injured at any point this coming year, and he plays the whole season, and some of these moves happen for the Cowboys, this 8-9 shit is not going to be happening.
Okay, so let's. I want to make an early bet here for next season because God bless. I hope Cowboys make moves, and I want to make this bet for stats wise that Dak Prescott is going to be better than Josh Allen.
Oh, let's do it. I'm fucking in. I know Marcos would agree with me.
Is that now? Is that bet going to be based on the Cowboys making moves or doing anything? What if they don't?
Yeah, it has to be the Cowboys got to make moves because not Jake's going to pussy out. No. But because according to him, no Dak, no chance, right? That's always been
that is
his
the
thing.
Truth.
That's always been your thing, regardless of who's at receiver. So I mean, we can do it with or without the moves because you said I said straight up who's the better quarterback, and you said Dak. We didn't mention anything about weapons.
So if we get the weapons, you're not gonna give Dak the benefit of the doubt. Is that what you're saying?
I'll still do the bet, but I'm just saying for your sake, I'll do the bet either way. But for you, you have to hope that you all get more weapons and stuff like that to even have a chance in this conversation. But either way, I still think even with the weapons, if you all get them, Josh Allen is a way better quarterback. Everybody would laugh you off, and you think Dak Prescott's better.
Abe, keep the stats, Abe. We'll do the bet. I'll get Robert a stupid ass.
Okay, so you're in? So you're in regardless of the moves?
Yes.
Oh, fuck yeah. Cannot wait.
I'll get Robert.
We can decide what the prize is later. But, man, lock in that bet because that's one of the most ridiculous things you've ever said on this show.
Well, I'm not counting the Cowboys out. I don't give a damn. I mean,
Jake, I don't care if you're a fan. Like, I wouldn't even say fucking Drake May's better than Josh Allen or Baker Mayfield. Like, even though Baker had an incredible year.
It's almost the same. I mean, it's Mahomes. I mean, they have fucking accolades, man. They have years of fucking playing.
Jake, we're not talking about resume. We're talking about skill set, how they play the game presently. You're telling me straight up that Dak is better than Josh Allen.
Currently, right now.
That's what we're talking about. And that's what this bet is going to be based off of, how they play in the regular season, not because of what Dak's stats are. Sorry that Dak's been in the league longer. That doesn't mean that he's better than Josh Allen, who's had a shorter career. That doesn't count.
Will he do better this coming year at 100%? Bet your ass, and that's what we're betting on.
Easiest money or whatever it is that we're betting that I'm going to make. You're ridiculous. Like, it's okay to be a super fan of your team, but to not even acknowledge, to even know that there's another quarterback out there that's better than yours is just because for you, if it's not Mahomes, nobody's better than Dak. Like, it's either Mahomes or nobody else. But anybody else, I could say Joe Burrow, and you'll be like, nah, Dak's better. Are you fucking kidding me?
Nah, fuck Burrow. I'm just not a fan of fucking Burrow. But yeah, he's.
But are you kidding me? But you can also be reasonable and not biased.
Fuck him.
It doesn't matter not being a fan.
I'll pick Lamar over fucking Burrow, man.
Whoa.
But you'll say Dak is better than Lamar. Right?
Again, can we see?
I know, but I'm asking you just straight up. Do you think Dak's better than Lamar Jackson?
At this very moment, until we go 5 games into next season, yeah, Lamar's better.
Wow, man. Like, I'm gonna put these up on the page, man. Like, as polls. I mean, like, Dak. I'm gonna say that you said
Dak could hurt. The Cowboys sucked.
The Cowboys sucked when he was playing. You piece of shit. He was losing. No, he was getting pounded by the Ravens, pounded by the Saints. Who else did they get pounded by?
Robert, don't forget, we were there live when he played the Lions. Yeah, the Lions annihilated.
The Lions did to the Cowboys what the Eagles did to the Chiefs.
Yeah, and they took out Dak Prescott because he got injured in that game.
Yeah, that was the fucking words.
Can you just
Where it all
admit
started.
you're a homer and you're biased? If you say
No,
that,
I'm
then
not because I like other quarterbacks too. I don't care for Allen, but I think they can get past the hump and make it to the AFC for sure championship, maybe the Super Bowl again. We'll
What?
but
see.
you're going off of treatment, like, oh, because I don't like him. Like, get the fuck out of here. That should
No,
not
it's
be
not so much that.
disqualification for a
No, it's
player's
not so much that.
greatness.
No, I just said Burrow's fucking really good, sure, but do I have to like him, Robert? No, or
I
do I
didn't
have to
say for you to
fucking
like him,
believe
but it's
him?
okay for you to be like, hell yeah, he's miles better than Dak Prescott. 2 minutes to go in a game. Who do you
I
want?
wouldn't say
Joe
mom.
Burrow with the ball or Dak Prescott?
Joe Burrow.
A healthy Dak, take him. I'll take that.
Oh my.
In what world? In what world?
He's proven to me. He does fourth quarter comebacks. He's done it the past few
Ooh.
Tell
years.
me when Dak has done a
When?
fourth quarter comeback.
Dak
When
has.
did he do a fourth quarter comeback?
All Robert cries about is fourth quarter garbage points constantly with Dak.
Because that's
How
what
many
it is.
games
That's
has
what the
he come
Cowboys are
back?
doing most of the time.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, the Ravens game wasn't as close as you thought. Yeah, that's just because
Wait,
fucking Dak was throwing garbage
but Rob,
touchdowns.
wait, hold on, Jake. While we're talking, look up when Dak did a fourth quarter comeback because I don't remember him ever doing any.
Well, I'm sorry. Was it not this year because he wasn't fucking playing? Yeah.
Oh,
See,
I,
that's his
said,
crutch. Oh,
I
because
said
Dak didn't
when.
play.
I
Like
said
when
when.
was it, Jake?
I said
Last year
when.
maybe, like the year before, like game
Oh,
3 maybe, or fucking something.
you see, you
I'll
don't
look it
even
up
know.
later.
Remember when
I'll
Jordan
look
Love
it
and the
up.
Packers did to the Cowboys what the Eagles did to the Chiefs in the
Yeah,
playoffs?
in the first round. In the first round.
Oh, but it's never Dak's fault, right? According to Jake, it's never Dak's fault.
No, that was just a whole. We're getting into a whole nother thing where I already said that was Quinn in the defense, but that's we're
See, I
gonna
wonder how this is
rephrase.
any different because he put blame. He can put blame on Mahomes in the Super Bowl for playing bad, but when it was the Cowboys against the Packers, like, nah, it was all the defense fault.
We put up points. The offense
Huh?
put up points. It was the. I mean, Dak and we had some points on the board. Robert, they didn't score the fucking first half. They had 0.
What was the score in the Cowboys Packers game? Look that up real quick.
I know it wasn't that. So nice try.
It wasn't something that far off. Just saying.
It was like 40 something to 20, dude.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Talk
I think
it
it
up real
was.
quick.
I
think
know
it
it
was.
was that, but it wasn't
40, I
fucking
think
like that.
45-28 maybe.
Let me see if they shut us out any quarter. Nice try, Robert.
Let's see.
It was what 2023.
Yeah,
No, it was 2024. 48-32.
yeah. There you go.
48-32. Nice try. It wasn't no
Yeah, look,
fucking
and most of that was
30
garbage.
to 22.
Cowboys by quarter, 0
Doesn't
points,
it doesn't
7 in the second, 9 in the third, and then 16 in the fourth.
And then they
Well,
came back.
meanwhile, the Packers put up 7, 20 in the second, 14, another 14 in the third, and then a touchdown to cap it off. But the Cowboys,
don't
most of
try
their
to
points
compare
came in
my
the end.
Cowboys to the fucking Chiefs' atrocious fucking Super Bowl performance because that's clearly not what that was. That was fucking shit in that fucking game against the Eagles.
God, you're
Either
such
way,
a
though,
mark.
we're getting off topic, folks.
No, we're not getting off
the new
topic. We're
coaches.
talking about let's move on here. So we're talking about the upcoming 2025 season. Let's talk about some of these teams that have made moves already before, like the official offseason is already underway. But let's talk about the
So you
Raiders
guys
real
already
quick.
talked about the Cowboys coaches, everything. We already got that out of the way.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk
Okay.
about the Raiders. Look pretty interesting this offseason. They hired Pete Carroll as the head coach. That's one. And again, all of this is Tom Brady's has got his hand in the kitchen there. He's cooking here. They hired the assistant general manager of the Buccaneers to be their general manager, and he's been working under Jason Light, and he's one of the great GMs in the game. And they hired Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
They've got the second highest salary cap space, and they got a high draft pick. So things are looking good here for the Raiders. What are we thinking about these acquisitions for the offseason?
Who's going to the Raiders? Shador, Abe.
Now, Shador's going to he might go to the Giants. I'm not too sure, but
they have money. Sam Darnold,
but that or Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is another possibility.
Or like I said, I mean, it all depends what Tennessee does with that number one pick, because I could shift the whole, drafting. I mean, it just depends who's gonna give up what to get that number one pick. And I think it's still gonna be Robert's boy Cam. What is it, Cam Ward? I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be him that goes number one to whoever. It might be the Titans, or it could be somebody that just maybe Oakland does. I don't know, because I think they got number 7 in the pick, right? I think it's like
I can pull that up in just a second.
I want to say it's like 7 or 8 that they pick, and shoot, to get maybe Shador to go and pair up with Bowers.
Yeah, give me just a second.
I think it might be 7. I'm not too sure, but I like the direction that the Raiders are going. I like the Hero signing.
So we got sorry, I got it real quick. So we got the Titans, the Browns, the Giants, the Patriots, the Jaguars, and the Raiders top 6 picks.
Okay, so I mean, they could offer that 6th pick to go to number 1, and then probably, I don't know, man. They could probably trade some. I don't know who else they have. Maybe not Max Crosby, but
No. You don't want to give that up.
or you might trade. You probably could trade, your future picks. You know what I'm saying? But to get Shador and maybe have him pair up with the tight end Bowers. So I mean,
Hell yeah,
that could be good, real good. So I mean, anything is possible. But I like the way the Raiders are trending right now.
dude, this is all Tom Brady influence, right? You can totally tell, right? Just based on the strategy and the Chip Kelly coming off Ohio State. They just won the national title. So that looks like a really smart hire. Pete Carroll.
So Tom Brady's a co-owner of the Raiders, right?
He's a minority owner, but the word is that he's having more hands-on on the operations because the main owner is letting him, because he wants that franchise to be relevant, which is something that Jerry Jones should really look into, like letting somebody else manage the operations of it. And Brady's the one who suggested the hiring of that Bucks assistant GM, because he worked with him in Tampa, and he's been working under Jason Light, so he's gonna have a strong mind for the draft on where to.
I'll play devil's advocate, Robert, for you, or for fans that are, because you're all over Brady. Okay, when the season starts for his commentating for Fox and all that, how much play will he still have? I mean, when he's going to have to worry about commentating each game.
Well, everybody's giving him shit that he shouldn't even be commentating right now because of his role with the Raiders, but
yeah,
the NFL's kind of making the exception right now because he's fucking Tom Brady and he's the GOAT,
Okay.
And I'm sure he's bringing in ratings for these games, so they're not going to tell him no, he can't commentate and take him off the broadcast. That's not going to happen.
I'm not really saying that. I'm saying you think it'll affect him one way or the other.
No, because he knows how to compartmentalize. He knows when to focus on just commentating, and then whatever he's doing with the Raiders.
Disagree.
And I'm not saying he's doing everything, but he's having strong influence. I'm not saying he's there day to day, but he has a lot of strong. I'm sure the people that are really in charge are giving him phone calls or saying, "Hey, what do you think about this?"
Yeah. Zoom meetings, whatever.
So that's the Raiders for the offseason. So I'm looking forward to see what they do there, and especially with their cap space, because if they land the quarterback, they got a strong tight end in Brock Bowers. They got your defensive leader in Crosby, and then you can fix up the O-line, get yourself a running back, and then fix part of your defense as well, because we all know what the recipe is to beat the Chiefs.
Yep. Exactly.
So if anything, that shows you the two biggest things that teams need to start looking for in the offseason is loading up your defensive line and people who can get to the quarterback, and getting yourself a strong run game. Running backs, they're back. You know what I'm saying? They were calling them done a couple of years ago, but they're back. I prefer a really strong back as opposed to a huge wide receiver. So you look at teams like Green Bay with Josh Jacobs. The Vikings really should look at re-signing Aaron Jones. That was huge for them. The Eagles, notwithstanding Saquon Barkley. Washington should really look at a back. It's going to be a good offseason for running backs. So, and even in the draft. Let's talk about my Patriots a little bit, and Abe's Patriots. Are you? I know you said you wanted to save the show. Are you officially?
I'm
no.
Yeah,
no,
I am. I am because of the fact that the Cowboys. I'm not sure what their narratives are. Jake thinks just because they signed one of his coaches from the Buffalo Bills that I'm going to pound my chest. I mean, I think it's a
Oh,
good
you were
move.
pounding your chest off
It's
there.
it's.
Nice
I
shit on
said,
that.
look. I said huge. It's good for them, but it doesn't make them going to be a 12-5 team. So right now,
Robert was saying, no, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
listen. Let me tell you something real quick. Let me tell you something, Jake, because Robert gets what I say. You don't. You just want people to go on your little parade,
But
hurrah,
I
and
said the
shit, and be
coaching.
like the Cowboys are going to be good. Dak Prescott's the best quarterback in the world. No,
No,
fucker, he's
I've
not.
never said that.
Listen, no, I'm boycotting the Cowboys this year. I'm going with the Pats. Mike Vrabel, genius guy
Oh,
for
you're gonna eat it.
defense. Vrabel, they're going to have a high pick. They're going to probably get Travis Hunter possibly.
Fuck yeah.
The two-way player. I mean, he's a threat, man. Like, man, he's going to be so good if he goes there. They have money.
They have 120 million, the most in the league.
They've got money. Drake may give him a second year now under his belt. He was good in the first year too, so give him now
okay.
a second
And
year.
Abe, I know you know this, but I have to mention it on air. The Patriots are hired back Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator.
Josh McDaniels.
Yes.
Josh McDaniels. There's a money. There's rumors of T. Higgins. There's
Fix up that O-line. Fix up the O-line. Get a
the
running
O-line.
back.
Go and get you that dude over from Baltimore. He's an offensive line guy. I can't remember his name, but he's really good.
You're gonna eat crow, Abe. You're gonna eat crow turning your back on the Cowboys. And
I told
Pat.
this to Jake I think in one of our chats, might have been Instagram. I said the Patriots are in better position to be better than the Cowboys next year, like without a doubt. Like
it's okay.
If you want to make that another bet, I'll do that too.
I know you're a Cowboys.
Patriots will be a better team.
I was gonna fucking get to that. I was gonna say we have two fucking bets. I'll bet Abe too, and he can stay a Cowboys fan because I love him as a pro. So if the Cowboys have a better record than the Patriots, you're gonna eat crow.
Oh, wait.
Who's
Hold
gonna eat crow?
on.
Who's gonna eat crow, Abe?
Because I'm gonna have to
Write it down, Abe.
Hold on. Yeah, let me write this one down because you're over here talking. Okay, hold on. I have to add it. I'm gonna put it on a post.
I'm sorry, Medina and Brandon, but the fucking Patriots are not there yet. Nice try, Robert.
Okay.
These young guys coming and shit. They're not gonna 1 year fucking be the ultimate thing. Stop it.
They're gonna be better than the Cowboys, though.
No.
Okay, so Robert, we're saying that
just because you're a biased fuck.
Robert, we're saying that the Pats are gonna have a better record than the Cowboys.
Better record for sure. And the Patriots will make the playoffs.
Okay, Pats will.
Who's in their division? Some shitty teams or something?
I didn't know the Bills. I mean, they'll get in the playoffs. That could be a wild card, Jake.
Okay. That's right. Because in my division,
you think Drake May's a joke, man, but this guy's for real.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that. He's okay.
Yeah, but I know you think he's a nothing. But go ahead, keep thinking that. Keep thinking
Jake,
that.
You're saying that the Cowboys will have a better record?
Me and you can still stay a Cowboys fan because I love you, Abe, so it's cool.
Cowboys will have. Okay.
I cannot wait. I've never been more excited for a Patriots offseason than this one.
I was excited. When they had all that money going in that one post Tom Brady era, where it was Belichick, and they went and those fucks ended up spending money on two tight ends that didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Gosh.
No, this is a different era now.
Yeah.
Abe, so you're gonna have three teams. So you're gonna have the Patriots, Cowboys, and then wherever Rodgers fucking goes. So that's three teams. So now I'm allowed to have two
You're
teams.
not allowed to have anything.
Fuck that.
No, you're sticking with the Chiefs. You're not coming off of them because they did poorly in the Super Bowl.
Dynasty's over.
No,
you were sucking them off too much.
You're such a schmuck, dude. You're that fucking little weasel from the Mummy where he goes and he turns his back on Brandon Fraser. That's you.
Nah.
But my kids,
I'll pick a second team to be determined.
I hope to someday.
Nah, you don't get a second.
You know what? I'll say the Ravens because I do like Lamar and Derrick.
Good. You know what? Good luck with that because that guy's never getting over the hump.
Oh man, you're so pathetic.
Now with Josh Allen and Mahomes still in the AFC, Lamar will never get over the hump.
Don't start sucking off Mahomes now just because they fucking got beat. Now you're like, oh, maybe now they might do something now. Like,
hey, well,
what are you talking about?
Wait, Robert.
Robert's having like
No, hold on.
Robert's having some
Hey,
weird pity.
motherfucker, weren't you
Weird
saying
pity.
about Bo Nix and the freaking
You're
Broncos?
having some weird pity now. Like you're like, oh, okay, it's okay, Brad. They got rocked in the Super
Robert,
Bowl. They're
wasn't
gonna
he
bounce
wasn't
back.
he
It's
all on the
okay.
Broncos last year?
Yeah, for some reason he got like on
and,
this weird
and I'll say my
Broncos
Broncos the
run.
13. My
Yeah,
Broncos the
and
13.
oh, get
Bo
the
Nix. Eat it.
Just watch it this offseason. He'll pick another team where we're way ahead of it, and he says no. And then later on, when they're good, he's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, like this team, like yeah, they're awesome. I think they're gonna win."
Cowboys, Ravens, and Bo Nix.
he did that shit with San Diego with Los Angeles Chargers. Like, oh yeah, Herbert.
yeah.
I was like, dude, what the hell? Like, you didn't know anything about him. You thought it was still freaking Stan Humphries as a quarterback there in San Diego.
Phillip Rivers. Robert Hayes.
Humphries was the fuck that when they went into the Super Bowl with the Niners when they had Ken Norton Jr. still. I don't know if you saw that one, Robert.
Yeah, I did. Let's talk about Myles Garrett a little bit. Potential spots where he could end up going. Now, he said it's not about the money. It's about actually getting the championship. So he's going to want to go to a contender. Now, that leaves only a couple of teams right now. I'm looking at Buffalo, Detroit, Green Bay,
Ravens.
I don't think I've heard the Ravens linked up to him.
And plus they're in division. I highly doubt that the Browns would let that happen. I know that the Giants were stupid to let Saquon go to the Eagles.
Yeah.
But you won't see that happen again. Trying to see who else.
Cincinnati?
No.
They won't spend, and that's also in division. No, those are pretty much. I mean, unless the Chiefs make a run at it, I don't know how.
Shit, no.
But again, they don't have the money because they paid Mahomes.
Yeah, they don't.
And Washington's the other one.
Watch him go to Philadelphia for some reason.
Hey, that GM makes stuff happen all the time, so it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I mean, watch him go to Philly. I mean, keep an eye on that.
But according to Jake, Philadelphia is going to be nothing next year. So
I like.
No, that's not what I said. I said they could have a Super Bowl slump. Same with and the Mahomes.
But based on what?
Really shitty.
You were gone for the couple of seconds we were talking about this, but I told Abe what was scary about the Eagles' defense is not only how dominant they were, but how young they are, and you're not spending money on them yet, so you're going to have them for a couple of years, and they're only going to get better. So. Good luck with that, Jake.
I mean, just based on if injuries happen or something.
Dak Prescott, good luck. Good luck against that defense. Just saying.
That's true.
Yeah, if he goes to Philly, I mean, damn, that bolsters their defense. But I'd like Buffalo to kind of step in and get him.
I think that's all they're missing. I think their offense is good enough.
Yeah.
What they were lacking was the defense. They let the Chiefs put up 30 plus.
Right.
In the AFC Championship game. I mean, come on.
Yeah. What do you think, Doof?
Contenders. Don't say the Cowboys. Contenders.
For where he's going to go or just like...
No, that's where he wants to go. He's not going to just go to fucking Carolina or something like that. Like, he wants to go where he's going to win a Super Bowl.
But Micah, I don't know if you saw, Micah was like, yeah, man, fucking come over here or whatever.
Your dick's getting hard just thinking about it, but it's not a reality. I'm talking about real teams.
And he said he would take a prize pick, Micah.
You know where I want Myles Garrett to go and where he would actually have a shot.
I know Abe saw it.
The Buccaneers defense.
Oh man, yeah.
The Bucks get Myles Garrett with that offense. They can make a deep playoff run.
How would it not happen for the Cowboys if fucking Micah just said he would take a pay cut? Realistically, he already said he would.
Jake the offense?
It's not gonna happen. Jerry Jones is too stupid to make a smart move like that. He's not gonna.
I agree with that.
He's not gonna get
Jake is as delusional as Jerry Jones. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like Dak Prescott needs to be the one to say, "Oh, I'll take a pay cut so we can get some players."
Yeah, Dak needs to smart enough to say like, we need to get more money so we can get more players. But no, he's fucking selfish, and he was only thinking about himself. I know he's a good guy and everything, wants to take care of his family and all that, but if you want to stop getting criticized, you want to make this team like a contender, you would do that. The greats have all done it. Brady has done it, which is why they were always in contention and always had players. But no, all these players want to be selfish and take like the most money when they haven't earned it. But yeah, fucking, and
Well,
Jake also
that's
wasn't here
really
in the
starting to piss me off, and I already texted you guys off air on Instagram, talking this Philly talk or whatever he said. I'm just like, I'm beyond it right now. I don't understand why he's saying shit right now.
But
And then,
yet,
and then I told you,
in the same breath, you're like, yeah, Dak Prescott's better than Josh Allen. So that kind of like
no,
null
we're
and
not talking
voids what
about.
you've said.
We're
That's like,
talking. I was talking Philly. I'm not talking
yeah, but that's
Buffalo
like
and what
null
you
and
chose.
void about like what you said. Like you say you're frustrated with Dak. Like get the fuck out of here. You think he's better than
No, I'm
Josh Allen?
frustrated with what
You're
he
a
said
fucking
about
fugas.
Philly, and they're in our division, bro. But at the same time, I will send what I sent you. He can't just bend over and take it and be like, oh yeah, well the Eagles are just gonna rock us and we're gonna let that happen. Like fuck that.
No, but he can say the sensible thing and be like, Philly's a great team. Like we have a lot to
That's
work
what I
on
wish he
before we
would have
get
said.
there. But no, to
Yeah,
say like, oh yeah, we're close, we can get there. Like that's fucking
that's why.
arrogance, tone
That's
deaf,
dumb.
tone deaf,
Yeah, it's stupid.
which is
I
what you
agree.
are.
No,
You're
I just
tone
don't
deaf.
agree with what he said. He has the talent, Robert. Is he an idiot right now? Yes.
Talent doesn't equal success in the NFL. We know that. Look at Aaron Rodgers.
Speaking of that,
Wow.
we're
Yeah,
getting into. Are we getting?
let's get into Aaron Rodgers a little bit. He flew over to New York, or was it to meet with the team, talking about his intentions on coming back. Head coach Aaron Glenn set up some parameters, like he's got to be there for full training camp. Can't be going on the Pat McAfee show spewing nonsense. And I guess they basically said like it's either that or you're not coming back. So I know they're basically they dumped him, but you can also look at it like Aaron Rodgers said like fuck that, you're not gonna like tie me down with that. And now he's
100%.
going to be on the market. What are we looking at here? I looked at the top three teams. It's the Raiders, the Steelers, and the Niners. I believe was the other team. What do we?
Right.
Pittsburgh is interesting, Abe. I'll let you get into that, Abe.
For Pittsburgh, I mean, that might be the best bet for him to go to. Um, with that
I only say
defense.
that real quick because did you see the Super Bowl colors for next year or whatever? The stupid background.
Yeah,
I know you're
but
not
I
into that.
don't.
I'm not into that.
I'm not really believing
I'm not.
that.
I'm not. But I was
Neither is
just
Jake. He
joking.
just goes with what the crowd is
No,
into.
I'm
So
just joking because
doesn't
people,
form his own
comment and shit.
opinions.
And I was like, okay, well, it looked light blue like the Lions, and then it looked yellow like the Steelers. So what if
Jake, there's a
fucking
shitload of
Rodgers?
colors on that logo. There's
Yeah.
Yeah,
purple,
but the
pink,
majority, if you look at it,
red.
no,
Red. Say the
look at it
Buccaneers
again.
then.
No. Look at it again. The majority of it's light blue like the Lions. I'm not bullshitting.
Yeah,
And
but there's a
yellow.
lot of colors on it.
Okay, but I'm getting to Aaron because what if Aaron goes to Pittsburgh and this actually comes true? But it's just a wild fucking,
Well, we
superstition.
don't do this pod based on colors. So,
I know it's just I'm just joking off the stupid Super Bowl thing because everybody makes a big deal out of that shit every year. But
no,
hey,
only like losers with no life look at that stuff.
so anyway, if Aaron goes to Steelers, Abe, how would that look?
I mean, like I said, I think that's good. That'd be good for him to go there because the other options was what was it? The Raiders. I mean,
Tennessee?
Raiders would be a good
Well,
one.
the ones that I looked at were it was the Raiders, the Steelers, and the Niners.
Niners too. I mean, the Niners need an overhaul. I mean, Debo wants out, so I mean, you got to revamp on your receivers, but you still got McCaffrey. I think that might work as well.
Actually, can we look at this? Abe mentioned earlier about Stafford to the Giants. That leaves the Rams opening. McVay and Rodgers together in LA
Man, that would be good. And that defense is young, and they're yeah,
with
I
Puka
like
with a
that.
star weapon.
What if Garrett went there? Miles Garrett.
Oh,
That defense is not bad, Robert. They got a number one draft pick in Verse that's there, and he was
but
really
I think
good.
Well, what are the chances that let's say that scenario plays out? That would have to all play out first before Miles Garrett
What if
makes
you
that
go
decision.
get Aaron Rodgers and you sign T Higgins and you've got Puka, and then
Do the
you just
Rams have
make
money to
that
sign
deep.
T Higgins for what he wants?
They got money.
But to sign T Higgins to like 30
I
million a year?
I think they got. Well, I don't know. I don't know how much they have. Well, even with they should once they drop Koopa, or what is it, Cooper Cup?
Yeah, I
Is it
mean,
Koopa?
that's
Puka?
the only way I can see Miles Garrett going there is that Rodgers would have to be in place, and then you'd have to like maybe talk about getting another weapon or something like that.
Did you see Robert? I can't remember where I saw it from, but it said something about Rodgers. I'm not sure what it was really what it entailed about, but I think it said something like shit, I think training camp or something like that. And I think one of the players on the Jets team said that he needs to have he needs to go to a retirement home or some shit like that. And I was like,
Oh,
oh damn. So and I can't, and damn, I wish I would have saved it, but I can't remember what it all said. But it was a saying, and like I think Rogers said something like a quote, and then one of the players responded by him saying he needs to keep his ass in a retirement home. And I was like, oh
Real
damn.
quick.
oh
Well,
my.
with that said, too, that's the next thing I was going to bring up, guys. Do we see Aaron Rodgers officially retiring too,
That's a possibility.
Nah, I don't see it.
or does he end his career like that? I don't see it just because he's big headed like that.
If I were him, this is what I would do if I were him. I would wait, don't retire, but stay in game shape all year long. It's a longer season. He's older. Wait until like more than the halfway point of the season.
Yeah.
Some team out there is going to need a quarterback at some point because it's too long of a season. We see too many injuries nowadays,
Wait,
and
you
I would
think he
just
don't
wait it
take
out.
pick Robert at the start of the season?
What's that?
You don't think he's going to be on a team at the start of the season? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
I'm saying what I would do if I were him. Like
Okay.
I wouldn't take any offers or anything. Sit it out, but don't officially retire, and just like stay in game shape and all that. Keep your workouts and all that stuff, and just like be ready by the phone, like come November, something like that,
I
and
think
wait
it
for
could
it.
work either way.
I think
Either way.
I'm telling you, some team is going to need. Uh, so like, let's say
Yeah.
for example, the Bucks are doing awesome, right, all season. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Baker's having an incredible year again. Boom, they're in
Gets
December.
hurt.
You know they're going to be in the playoff. Boom, he gets hurt. You telling me the Bucks wouldn't make like a phone call, like who's
Oh,
available?
fuck yeah.
We got to get somebody.
Oh, yeah.
We're on a run here. You
Oh,
bring in
yeah.
Rodgers. You have a strong run game. You have weapons. Hopefully they would have fixed the defense by then. Make a run.
Dak gets hurt and
Um,
Aaron goes to the Cowboys? Fuck nah.
I'm saying
another,
they got to be contenders,
I mean,
Jake.
yeah. Another one is I mean Godwin. I mean, is Godwin going to be there, or is Godwin going to be a Patriot? You know, he's also available too. I mean, he could be a Niner as well.
Yeah, all strong possibilities.
What
I
would
say
be,
he ends up
what'd be
retiring
crazy?
a Buck.
What if Love gets hurt and he goes back to fucking Green Bay?
No,
I mean,
he won't go there.
That would be insane.
They didn't want him. They booted him
yeah.
out.
Yeah, I don't think
You
they would
can't.
make
You
that call.
can't
That
go
would be
home
some
again.
talent.
You can't go home again.
Yeah, that would be weird, but we've seen weird shit happen. And
No, but I'm
Indiana.
just saying that's what I would do if I were Aaron. But more than likely, someone's going to go after him.
Yeah, fuck yeah. He'll be somewhere at the start of the season for sure, I think.
But we need to stop looking at Aaron Rodgers as the Aaron Rodgers of like 2014, 15.
I just think
Like,
he had a shitty go with the Jets, bro. I mean, the head coach
yeah,
got
but you can
fired.
also
He
admit like the
games,
guy's
and
older. He came off an Achilles. He's not the same player anymore. You shake your head, but prove me wrong. Where are the numbers then, Jake?
Yeah.
yeah, for
You had a
sure.
whole
We'll see.
season with the Jets. You even got Devontae Adams on your fucking team, and you couldn't do
Shit,
anything.
that couldn't do
Which,
shit.
which,
Like,
which
like
could
what are we talking
still,
about here? Like,
he could still end up
don't
with
let
them.
your
And
feelings don't let your feelings for Rodgers get in the way of what reality is.
Where do
no,
you
I'm
see?
not.
Where do you, Robert? Where do you see Devontae Adams going?
Oh, good question. I don't know. I
Certainly,
can
certainly
see.
not back to the Raiders. He's probably.
I don't know. I can see him going to the Chiefs, but fuck it. I mean,
I thought I
Devontae
saw
Adams
something
don't.
about Pittsburgh.
Devontae
Did
Adams don't
you
scare
see
me
Pittsburgh?
anymore.
Do you think? Do you think possibility of him going back to Green Bay?
I mean, there's always a chance. I don't think he left on bad terms. Um, but also, like, I'm sure he's still got some arrogance, and he thinks he's probably going to want some money. You know what I mean? Like, he still probably thinks he's at that elite level to get paid, but he didn't do
Goes to the
himself any
Patriots.
favors going to the Jets. What?
Patriots, Robert.
Patriots got a lot of money, but there's also a lot of good receivers out there that they could go after as opposed to him.
Would you be happy
Yeah.
with him going to the Patriots?
Would I be happy? I mean, I'm not getting the
He's
Devontae
still,
Adams from those early Green Bay years. I know that. So I'll keep the
he's still a
realistic.
star.
Well, but then again, anything's an upgrade for the Patriots because who did they really have last year? Nobody. So, like,
No.
if I got Devontae Adams, okay, like, that's at least a little bit of an upgrade from what we had. And we know Drake May can deliver the ball because he was doing it with fucking nothing. So imagine him with at least some established names.
We'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Damn right, it's
I
gonna
know
be
you.
Diggs.
I know you want to fucking say it that if he goes to the Cowboys. I know you fucking
Nah,
want to.
I think the more chances Abe in reality is Diggs because of his brother, and they've already been talking about it.
Man, it's
I
not
know
gonna
you've seen it
happen.
too.
Get Diggs. It won't make one bit of a difference.
Nice try. He's another weapon for Dak.
Yeah, but it won't make a bit of difference.
Robert. I mean, not Robert. Jake. Dak had Des Bryant and Cooper.
Abe, you're
Amari
thinking of the
Cooper.
past, though, bro.
Amari
You're thinking of the
Cooper,
past.
and they couldn't do shit.
But according to Jake, his past matters because he uses that in his reasons for saying he's a better quarterback than whoever it is because of his accolades or whatever the fuck.
No, he's not a scrub. Like you try to point him out to
I
me.
never said he was a scrub, but it's okay to
Yes,
say
you-
that there's other
I'm gonna-
quarterbacks better than him.
I'm gonna wear my Cowboys jersey, and I need to put duct tape over it with a big
Jake,
X. Like
Jake, I'm not
like-
saying like Bryce Young is better than Dak. You know what I'm saying? Like I know Dak's better than him.
Oh, I think Bryce Young is better than Dak. I mean, he showed it.
I'm not gonna go that far.
I mean, Robert, you saw
Not that far yet.
You saw some flashes of Bryce
I saw
Young. I mean,
some
he kinda got a
flashes,
wake-up
but
call.
if I can get a full season of that, then maybe we can revisit that conversation. But Jake's always just like Dak. Rob. He probably won't even say Baker, considering the amazing year he had.
You know that Pickett won a Super Bowl before freaking Dak Prescott, that fucking schmuck.
And he played too.
Yeah, he did.
He did what, like one drive?
Who cares? He played in the Super Bowl.
He played.
Oh, that's cool.
But Jake will say, "Oh man, Dak's the best."
No, but Dak's better than everybody. No. Unless it's Mahomes, nobody's better than Dak.
Well, because Pickett played fucking 0 yards, 0 anything. He's better than Dak somehow.
You like how Jake can't even answer that? Like he knows, like it's either Mahomes or nobody's better than Dak. Like you bring up any other quarterback, like it doesn't matter. Dak's better. Like fuck out of here. Well, in what fucking world?
I already said currently right now we're not 5 games into the fucking start of the season yet.
Yeah, but just overall, just based on rep and everything, reputation, what they've done, what they haven't fucking done. I mean, Joe Burrow's been to a fucking Super Bowl, and you want to say that Dak Prescott's better than him? Get out of here.
Not currently. Not right now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck Burrow,
Defend Dak.
man.
I get loving your team, but I can say Joe Burrow's better than Baker Mayfield and Drake May. Like, I have no problem saying that.
Yeah, I could say
Josh
that
Allen's
too.
better than Drake. The Buffalo Bills are better than the Patriots. Like, it's okay
That's
to
common
be a fan
sense.
of your team. Huh?
No,
That's
you hate
Common
Jake.
sense.
Jake, you hate Joe Burrow for some weird reason. You hate him.
Because he's an arrogant fuck, and I don't like arrogant fuck.
And it's
How is
okay.
he arrogant? Tell me how he's arrogant.
But he has a right to be.
Always being flashy, being stupid, fucking.
What are you talking about?
And all the crying on the sideline, doing it.
What do you mean crying? Being a leader, holding his team accountable?
You know what?
Something that fucking Mahomes should have done in the Super Bowl?
Nice try.
Instead of crying and pouting?
Gosh.
Bet you Jake played in the Super Bowl. If Jake played in the Super Bowl and they panned him on the sideline, he'd be pouting and crying too. Just be shaking his head, going like,
No, see the thing. No, see, you're getting it wrong. Burrow should have been doing that if he would have made it. He didn't make it. And when you're doing that in a game where it fucking didn't matter, when they fucking got rocked anyway, like it didn't matter.
What are you talking about? They did everything that they had to do. It was the fucking Chiefs who bowed out like cowards and didn't play in the last game of the season.
No, don't give me that fucking shit. Stop it. They had all season to do good. They fucking schmucked it up.
You're just mad because they beat the Cowboys. You thought they should have won that game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The Simpsons game.
Yes.
Oh, guess what? You know how we would have won if somebody named Dak would have been in that fucking game.
Oh,
but anyway.
Jake doesn't like to talk what ifs, but he says that for his team, and it's okay if he says it.
Really, I hope the Cowboys go and get Kirk Cousins as their backup and let these other two fucks go.
Yeah,
but are they going to do it? No. Are they going to do it? No. They're going to sign Cooper. What is that guy named? Cooper Rush? God, that guy's a piece of shit.
He's young. He's old now. He's getting older, man.
Speaking of, I was talking about the Buccaneers, or I do need to address something that I wanted to address. Really, in last week's episode, that was going to be the opening of the Super Bowl show because I haven't talked about this really at all. I did a couple of digs on Facebook and stuff like that, but I really need to address this. So, the the Jacksonville Jaguars, let me set the stage here for everybody, the audience, and even you, Jake, if you don't know the story. So the Jacksonville Jaguars offered
I know the story.
the head coaching job to offensive coordinator at the time, Liam Cohen of the Buccaneers. Went to go interview, did all this stuff. Okay, cool. Team knew about it and everything. He declined the offer, right? Okay, cool. We're gonna get him back. Bucks say, hey, we're gonna make you like the highest paid offensive coordinator. You're back with us. Boom. Now, in hindsight, they probably should have had him sign right off the bat and not just, but you're going off of a man's word. He's saying like, yeah, I'm back with y'all. Cool. You take him for his word. That's awesome. Then later during the day, you find out that the Jaguars fired their general manager. And I think that had something to do with him turning down the job at first. So then you hear like late rumblings in the early morning the next day of supposedly that Liam Cohen's back in the conversation for the head coaching position. I go, cool, okay, that's fine. As long as he let the Bucks know, right? Because they're going to pay him. So supposedly the Bucks head coaching, Todd Bowles, nobody could get a hold of him. And he wasn't making contact with anybody. So that's kind of shitty, right? Not just in football, but like in life. If you get a job opportunity somewhere else, you're going to make more money and all that. Good for you. But at least be a man about it. Have the balls to tell your other employer, like, hey, look, I took my name out of the running. They called me back with another offer. I think I'm going to go take this one. I know you guys offered me this, but I'm going to take this. This is better for my career. I would respect that. But the fact that the coaches were trying to get a hold of Liam Cohen and they couldn't, like, that's fucking low, man. You're a snake and a lie. Like, that doesn't look good for you as a person and just for you, like, for people wanting to go work for you. Like, that makes you look really bad. So I wish death on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I hope they do fucking terrible. And they're fucking lucky they're not playing the Bucks this season, because if they were, they would fucking destroy them. I wish nothing but failure for Liam Cohen for the way he did the Bucks here. Could have, who knows? They could have maybe offered you the head coaching job for the Buccaneers, but you decided to go to Jacksonville, who may not even be a fucking franchise in the next couple of years. Or if not, they're going to ship you off to London where you'll be the franchise for them. So good luck, Liam Cohen. I hope you enjoy like whatever extra million you're going to make being the head coach of a Jacksonville Jaguar team that's never been relevant to begin with. The most relevant you've ever been is when Trevor Lawrence got, drafted to you guys, and he was good for a few seasons and then kaput. So good luck trying to rebuild that. I wish you nothing but the worst, because you weren't man enough to tell the Bucks, hey man, I got a better offer. I'm going to go here. But you hid like a coward. And you went behind their back after Baker, after what he did for you, and propped you up, because yes, you called the plays, but the players still got to make the fucking plays, and they propped you up, man. They propped you up real good, and you went behind their backs. So fuck you, and the Bucks are gonna win the Super Bowl next year just because of that. Fuck off.
Yeah,
that's my rant on that. Sorry.
What a dick move, man. On Jake Cohen going like that, man.
That's a total Jake move.
But they made memes of him, or they just made fun of him because he just goes and he goes Duval, and I'm like, what
is that?
The equivalent of this is like if Marcos had a podcast and Jake would all of a sudden like just ignore all of our messages, like, hey, are you going to be on the show or whatever? And he'd be like, no, this would be like if Marcos offered him a spot. He'd be like, nah, you know what? I'm on the 2-minute drive. Like, I like where I'm at here. I'm going to go back there. And then Marcos maybe offers him, like, I don't know, more producing credit. And then after he had told us he's going to stay with the 2-minute drive podcast, he would ghost us right away. And then he would just show up on Marcos's podcast and be like, this is the podcast I'm going to be on going forward. No more 2-minute drive.
That would be fucking
shit.
You would see me walking into his apartment with the setup like he walked into Jacksonville.
You would do it.
But that's the equivalent. That's like how much of a shit move, like snake that it is to do something like that. And Jake, what are your thoughts on it?
I would never betray you guys. First of all, that's number
one. I'm not talking about you, but what do you think about what Liam Cohen did to the Bucks? I laid it all out for you.
Him being as important as he was, as you made it out to be, it was a shitty move, especially when they were going to give him the contract extension, money. You had everything. Why leave?
Dude, like,
that's how
I'm all for it. I'm all for more opportunity, and if you're gonna put yourself in a better position. So like, let's say Marcos had his own podcast, and you'd be like, hey, he's gonna give me like a better spot or whatever, or he's gonna let me be the host most of the time or whatever. And if you were to tell straight up, like, that's cool, like that's a better opportunity for you, go do it.
No,
But to completely
I
ghost somebody and then just go off and do it,
no,
that's
I'd
shitty.
rather
I agree.
I'd rather
Hey,
I would have taken to be the highest paid offensive coach, offensive line guy, or offensive coordinator. I would have rather taken that because you're taking a head coaching position, the stakes and the bullseyes on your back there. So if you
oh,
fail,
he's gonna get
like
fucked.
you fell, and then to have to go from being a head coach and going back to be a coordinator, it's kind of like a slap in the face, if you ask me.
That's
So
what
I'd
I'm
rather
saying.
stay. Yeah, I would have just taken the money, stayed in the Bucks because it wasn't broken, it didn't need to be fixed, it was fine,
The Bucks
and
were
run it.
offering everything to him, right, Robert?
Shit,
Money, extension, all
He could
that.
have also been eventually the head coach in waiting, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I would have rather
It's a
been the
shitty
Bucks
move.
coach.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
would have
can't
rather
betray your
been the
team like
Bucks
that.
coach than Jaguars.
Fuck no.
I'm saying it's okay to leave, but at least be man enough to tell him, like, hey, look, actually, I know I told him no, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it because they offered this, this, and this, or whatever. Cool, like you're being straight up, but to not answer phone calls, to
That
say
was
you
weird.
were like you secretly flew back to Jacksonville, like, what are you doing, guy? Like at least just be a man about it. Like, just from a human standpoint, that's what pisses me off more because I know Baker talked about him highly and all that stuff. And I think he even ghosted Baker. Like, Baker was trying to get a hold of him or whatever. And he's still talking great about him. Like, that's how good of a person like Baker is. But the way he went about it, like, dude, karma comes back for everybody. And I'm just saying, like, either he may have little success in Jacksonville, but if he gets fired and tries to go get a coordinator job, you don't think everybody's going to look back and be like, dude, look what you did to the Bucks. Like, that's not going to be forgotten.
Yeah, that's a dick move, man.
I don't know. That's my big rant. I'm done with it. Now I can look forward to the 2025 season for the Buccaneers, which I'm super pumped about. Pumped about the Patriots. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to next season. But anything else that you guys want to discuss before we officially sign off for the season?
Just looking forward to next season. I mean, NFL, like I always say, is the greatest sport as far as professional. It's going to be a lot of crazy off-season moves. Um, and besides, and as far as the pod, we got, Brandon coming in this coming year. I know Robert will talk about that. Um, but no, not much, man. It's been a good year, fellas. I know I was on the show the majority of this season,
Yeah,
so
very
that
good.
was
Very good.
Dang, this was the first year you were healthy.
Like you were
when I'm
actually part of the
healthy.
cast, not like guest starring.
See what
It
happens
was,
when you're
hey,
healthy. When you're
it
healthy, you can
wasn't.
perform
No,
like Dak.
it
When
wasn't
Dak is
when you.
healthy, Dak will
No,
perform.
no, if they freaking like barely whip by and touch your towel on your waist, you freaking get hurt for some reason. Your Achilles gets torn. So weird.
What about you, Abe? Anything else?
No, man, I'm glad the Chiefs didn't win.
I
The
know,
Super Bowl
boy, am
was
I so
good.
glad.
Yeah, I'm glad. So we don't have to hear about the fucking talks of three-peat and goat and shit like that.
It's over.
Needs to stay with Brady. That's okay. I'm good with that. So I'm ready for the off-season moves. I want to see what happens. I'm not really looking for Cowboys way because we know they're not going to do anything. But as far as what the other teams are going to do, I want to the draft. I'm looking
I
forward
know
for
you
the
like the draft.
draft. Yeah, the
We can
draft.
real quick. We can make a proclamation here. I know season 3 is going to kick off with the draft, but I know free agency starts a little bit before that. If
Yeah,
there's significant stuff, we can move up the season 3 premiere. If
I
y'all,
know
but
I know we've done that before, Robert. You and we did
well,
that
we've
maybe
done
I
like a
think.
little special, but like if you want
Yeah,
to move up the season 3 premiere,
Yeah,
but that's only if like there's significant free agency stuff. If it's just like
yeah, good
one or two
moves.
things, it might not be worth an episode. But if there's a lot of stuff that happens from the get go, like I'm okay
I,
with if y'all want to do an episode to
I'm
open
good
up
with
the
that. But
season.
yeah, but like you said, it needs to be a lot of information. I don't want just one or two things that are brief,
Yeah,
like somebody
Yeah.
signed here that really wasn't. That's really not going
I'm
to matter.
talking like, Roger signs here, Miles Garrett goes there, freaking
Yeah,
Sam Darnold's going this,
yeah.
maybe, whatever. I'm saying it's got to be like a
it'll
lot of
be a
different things.
special episode to next year.
Not, it wouldn't be a special episode. It would just be the
No, it would
season
just
3
be the
opener.
season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm good with that. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. But if
we'll
not for
make time. We'll
sure,
try to do that.
so as of right now, our season 3 premiere will be the NFL draft, which will cover, I believe, the first 10 picks. We'll do right after the 10 picks happen. We'll go on the air, record an episode, and we'll talk about the picks and then any other news that happens. Unless there's like a big set of free agency moves, we'll do it. We'll make that the season 3 premiere. But if anything, the NFL draft will be the season 3 premiere, and that'll be the introduction of Brandon to this panel.
Awesome.
Going forward. So I'm looking forward to that. I can change this, but early Super Bowl 60 pick, Patriots Buccaneers. Fuck all of you. I get what I want. You nothing.
Abe, what about you, Abe? Abe?
Shit. I'm gonna go with
This is just for fun.
Yeah.
This isn't a lock it in early pick.
I'm gonna say maybe Detroit and Cincinnati.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna go Detroit and Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Well,
Are you assuming Aaron Rodgers is gonna be there?
Yeah, like
I'm
you
assuming
don't even...
that, and then just the stupid logo dumb superstition. This is just a fun dumb pick.
Drake May versus Joe Burrow in the AFC Championship game. Let's go.
Ooh, that would be a good game.
Did you
I
mean
think
Bo
America?
Nixon, bro?
I think America. I think the world is ready for like new teams to be like in contention.
Yes.
I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, I had super Chiefs fatigue. Like enough of them. Like they can still be contenders, but yeah, enough of them being like this mystique, unbeatable franchise. Like that's out the window now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
All right. Well, if that's everything we have to talk about, Abe, you want to plug all the socials and close us out for the season?
Yes, sir. You can write to us at our email at the 2-Minute Drive podcast at outlook.com. That is the number 2 TWO spelled out, Minute Drive podcast at outlook.com. Robert runs the Facebook account, the 2-Minute Drive podcast. I run the X account. It's going to be at UR Roughness, the letter U, Roughness Pod, at X, right? Is it at? It's not Twitter, right? It's X.
Yeah, but you can search it by the username. So you put
by the username
at
UR Roughness, Roughness Pod. I'm going to see if I can change that. But anyway, Jake runs the Instagram account, 2-Minute Drive Podcast. Robert also runs the TikTok account. At 2-Minute Drive Podcast as well. You can also listen to this episode and all past episodes via Spotify, Apple iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, you name it, it's on there. Give us a listen, give us a shout out, and for all of us here at the 2-Minute Drive Podcast, good night.
Later,
guys.